Hey guys, so welcome back. We're now on to part 2 of our Transit custom camper conversion. Done all of the stripping out, really happy with how that went, and the next stage that we're going to go on to now is sound deadening and insulation as well. So lots of different options for this. I'm going to take you through what we're going to do for this particular van, take you through the products that we're using, and we'll do a full time lapse again so you can see how we get on from there. Let's do this. So the products we're going to use for the sound deadening is by a company called Killmat, and they provide this car sound deadening mat, but also absolutely applicable for your van conversions as well. Lots of different options in terms of sound deadening, but this is one of the ones that was recommended to us by a good friend who'd done some other conversions as well, and I think it's going to be a perfect fit for what we want to do. We got this from Amazon, put the link to where we've got this from in the comments for the video below to have a quick look at, but lots of alternatives and lots of similar things that you can get. So in terms of what this looks like, it's kind of a closed cell aluminium sound deadening material. Comes in these sort of strips or these sort of rectangles, and on the back of these it's just self-adhesive. So, oops, if you pull back the adhesive, obviously this always works on the right edge. Pull back the adhesive, you'll see there you've got like a tacky back to the adhesive as well. If you're thinking about maybe applying these, it's a little bit colder, sometimes trying to get a heat gun on them can kind of make them a little bit more malleable, a little bit easier to apply. But as these are really going on just to sort of the flat surfaces of the van, shouldn't have too many problems as well. So this is what we're using for the first stage process, and we'll take you through how the sound deadening works when we get back to the van. So as we're going to be doing the sound deadening, just a few points really to consider what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. Main idea with the sound deadening is these sort of single skin areas of the van where you've kind of got, you know, single skin, quite boomy, just knocking on that, the obligatory knock test. Obviously you can see there's quite a lot of resonation that will come from those, and a bit of booming into the van as well. Same on the roof, obviously roof panels, anywhere that you've got single skin. This is going to be our sort of target sort of space really to apply the sound deadening material. Areas that we're not going to do, so we are going to be having windows in the top panel, this side, and also on the door side as well. So we're not going to be doing any sound deadening on there. Different rules of engagement, I guess, or different ways that, you know, sound deadening can be applied in terms of percentage. So some people will say you don't need to do the whole van, not every single panel, every single square inch. So what we're going to be aiming for on this particular van is around 40 to 60% coverage of the single skin metal from a sound deadening approach as well. In terms of the floor, again, different schools of thought. Some people will say don't do any sound deadening on the floor because you've got the ribs in the floor, and the ribs themselves kind of act as a bit of a sound deadening sort of material just by the nature of the construction. But we're going to see how we go. We've got more than enough sound deadening in terms of product, so we're going to focus on the single skin first, see where we get up to, and then if we've got some left over we may start to put some in between the ribs on the floor as well. So our first stage is sound deadening, so let's get on it. So sound deadening now in place on the side panels. Probably got a little bit more coverage than we planned to, but we've got more than enough of the material to go through. So side panels done, just as a comparison. So not sure if you'll be able to tell that. Just deadens obligatory knocking. Yeah, so just really deadens the sort of vibration and sound that you'll get into the van. Front side done as well, looking good. Next stage is roof. So this van had some factory fitted sound deadening on a couple of the roof panels already. So we're just going to retrofit these panels here that haven't got any sound deadening on the roof. Just deciding whether or not we're going to do the sides of the arches. We put some deadening on the top of the arches. Again, we'll see how much material we've got, depending on how crazy we're going to go with sound deadening. Also need to do the back panels of the van as well, so we'll be doing those in a second. So just whilst Nathaniel is finishing those final few sound deadening panels on the roof, doing a brilliant job, just want to go through quickly next stage. So once the panels are on, you know, you can apply them by hand to get a really good adhesion, but just to make extra sure, really good idea just to get a roller, something similar like this. I got this one from Amazon as part of a deal with the sound deadening, but you can use a rolling pin. You know, I've seen people use spray bottles, anything really where you can start to get a really good adhesion with the sound deadening as well. So once the panel's in place, just a case really of getting your roller in, moving sort of side to side, really checking that you've got a really good adhesion to the metal panel. So we'll sort of help slightly in terms of the sound deadening, but the other thing that we do this for, really want to make sure that no moisture or any dirt or anything can get behind the deadening panel, because you do not want that longer term. If any moisture gets behind there, you might be looking at some rust as well. So just now I'm going to go over each panel like this, making sure we've got a full adhesion, and then we will be done with our sound deadening. So that is our sound deadening now complete. So we've done the floor in the end. We had more than enough product. It was just one pack in the end that we used, so we've still got a spare pack. But yeah, the floor's done, just in between the ribs, just some spacing, a little bit on the wheel arches, inside the panels, roof, all done as well. If you can see that there at the front. All the side panels, behind the panels done, a few little spots there. So yeah, sound deadening all done. Happy with how that's come out. Pretty quick process, good product to use as well. Tacky was really great, went on with no problem. So we'll see you for the next part.